Hey there, everybody. It's Andrew here with Canadian Musician, and we're in the underbelly of the Toronto downtown Marriott by the Eaton Centre for Canadian Music Week 2014, and with Pimpton, hip-hop artist out of Regina, Saskatchewan. Current release now, Killa Call Me Killa Volume 1. Can we expect Volume 2?
Volume 2 is on the way.
There we go. Well, why don't we start with that? Yeah, what's the schedule like for that, and maybe with that, how does it differ? Where do you see the sonic development as far as versus the first one, whether it's with the people you're working with on production or your approach to things?
Okay, I'll start with the scheduling.
3 in 1 there.
Yeah. As far as scheduling, we set a few music videos as well as new single releases throughout between now and September. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking we're gonna go about one every 2 months or something along these lines. And the project is set to release sometime in the fall of 2014. The last project was released, I believe, in a similar timing around 2013, at the end of the year, about November. And that was Killa Call Me Killa Volume 1. Killa Call Me Killa Volume 1 was kind of a project that was inspired off of a trip that I took down to the States when I was originally supposed to be touring with the Beatnuts, but there were complications among their scheduling and their relationships or whatever. And we ended up using an opportunity to, with a relationship I had built with an artist from the Bay named Andre Nicotina. We used this opportunity, since we were already organized, had this much timing planned to be away from home, et cetera, to go down. Andre Nicotina was on a tour himself. He allowed us to tag on and just learn with him and like chill with him. We hung out with him on his birthday. And from the fruit of that labor, we ended up shooting a music video. The first music video I had in rotation on Much Music. It was called, the song is Little Daryl. That's from the Dealbreaker Manifest Destiny, another project that I actually released in 2013, earlier in February. Full 17-track album, both of them. So as far as what the difference is between these, I would say it's just the timing and the placement I am in my life and development as an artist, right? So Killa Call Me Killa Volume 1, like I was saying, it rolled off of this experience going down to the Bay, going down to Texas for Austin, Texas for South by Southwest, where my manager and I drove to all these locations from Regina, Saskatchewan. Like, imagine those hours, right? But anyways, like, it was a great experience, and this was what inspired me to punch out that mixtape by the end of the summer, right? So then after that, it was actually released in July. After that, now I'm just like, my mentality, I got a video on Much Music, released Killa Call Me Killa Volume 1, got another video on Much Music. Now the mentality is about these grants and stuff. So now we've turned to SaskMusic for help, right? We were talking about SaskMusic earlier. Basically, like, now that they see that these kids are motivated and driven to the point of, like, taking this time out of life to commit to this, because this isn't a hobby, this is a career. Mm-hmm. And we've been looking at it like that since my first release in 2008, the Dealbreaker Manifest Destiny. So, like, since that, the Newer Testament, the Dealbreaker Manifest Destiny was 2013, sorry. But anyway, since that day, like, they've seen these kids just, like, taking it upon themselves. It's like, it's a solid investment now. Mm-hmm. We've started, like, the grants are coming in. Like, SaskMusic has been standing behind us now. And they, like, went over our business plan. Like, my manager and I wrote up a business plan, and it was a killer business plan. And any way you put it, but yeah, that's what that's looking like now. So basically everything coming for Killa Call Me Killa Volume 2 is me at this stage and with this much more intelligence and this much more drive because of the fruits I've seen born, So yeah, that's where that goes.
SaskMusic, just like you say, I know that the provincial music industry associations, that's a mouthful. I know that they treat, when it comes to grants, very much like a business. Like, it's, even though there is no return on investment, I know firsthand from being on those juries that when you're going through applications, it's not always about who's making the best music. It's who's got it, the savvy to go. So the fact that that's been working out for you well lately, I think, is a testament to, like you say, how hard you guys have been working. You've been a member of SaskMusic for quite some time. Outside of the grant, what are some of the other opportunities that, or even just things that they've provided that have benefited you?
Number one, I would say, would be guidance. Like, because the grant thing that's like a new leaf, right? But as far as like where we've come with them, they've been really accessible. Like, I'm not sure. As soon as you became a member, like I'm sure we went to a meeting once and it was like, oh, we weren't members yet, you know? So they're like, oh, become a member. As soon as you became a member, you start getting their little weekly or whatever emails, updates of conferences or whatever's coming through Regina or Saskatchewan as a whole, rather. And it just gives, like, you know, if you're already motivated, it's that information. They're providing the information to you at a very low cost. Like, I almost ended up signing some crazy contract with subscript Universal on it just because I saw Universal on it, but didn't understand the amount of like ties that led there, right? And I like luckily took this contract to JP Elson, who was the president of SaskMusic at the time, but also the lawyer, the lawyer for SaskMusic, and he reviewed it and just gave me some great advice. I took his advice, and you know, now we're here. You know, and now I'm still getting 100% for the work I put in, you know? So it would have been crazy to go off in that route, but that route had me set in a 10% to 90 their rights to my music and stuff, you know what I mean? And it's like, well, I haven't even done that much to like get any money from anything that could occur in the next, like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it was just crazy and out of time, but basically SaskMusic provided the facility for me to attain that information. Right. And yeah, so basically, yeah, they're backing us up. And once they see people are involved or whatever, like they're on board. And recently, like Rebecca and Lorena, they're the two representatives that are here right now that like came with us. And like, yeah, they're just like, they're great, pretty much.
I know you're originally from Trinidad and Tobago. Just to set me up for the next question, when was it that you made the move up north to Canada?
That was in 1994, okay. So I was fairly young.
So on that note, when we talk to a lot of musicians, Regina, Winnipeg, one of the things that comes up a lot, whether it's like punk rock or well, I guess even now hip hop, the fact that those aren't really considered hotbeds, you know, of music industry, you know. A lot of what we hear is that that's kind of a good thing, that isolation and the fact that there's really no big scene to impress, it kind of lets people carve out their own niches, and that has a lot of influence like on the sound. So I'm really curious for you, I mean, the fact that it's Regina, but also that, I mean, hip-hop isn't a genre that people often associate with Canada, unfortunately, let alone the prairies. Yeah, I mean, do you think that, is that a burden to you, or do you think that that's in any way been a benefit?
I mean, yeah, it definitely goes both ways, because at face value, it's a benefit. Because when you're in somebody's face and you're the first person shedding them with this new light, you know, they really take it in. They take it in because they have no prejudices. They have no reason to believe not or believe. So if you can give out a convincing story, they're on board, you know? So with us, it's like, oh, you're from Saskatchewan. Like, what? First of all, in America, half of them won't even pronounce the word, you know? And that's the hook. Yeah. You know what I mean? You reel them in from right there, because now you get to explain to them about this place, and they're like, oh, first of all, there's black people there, you know what I mean? And second of all, there's hip hop music there. And it's like, yeah, well, of course, you know, this is the world we live in. It's a multicultural world, and different jobs. Like, why am I from Trinidad and ended up in Saskatchewan, Regina, Saskatchewan? Simply job opportunities, the way that the world works, right? So that's what it is. And just like me coming there, it's like hip hop has infiltrated the entire planet. Everywhere you go, you're going to find hip hop music. So to act surprised is to be naive to what hip hop really is. But you know what I mean? When someone is surprised, then you get to be that person once again to inform them. And that's an amazing opportunity every time. So the only time it is a hindrance is suppose you're sending out music and these people have never actually gotten to visually see you or interact with you on a level that they understand where you're coming from, you know, obviously then that wall is up. They think you're just someone trying to come and take their money. You know what I mean? And that's really what it is. It's like, you just want to bring your money to my country and take money and not bring anything back. But no, you go there face to face and these people see you. They're like, oh, you can make me money in Canada and let me come and tour out with you. You know what I mean? Like, that's where and right now Canada is a hot spot because of artists like Drake and, you know, Shad and all of these, like probably a lot of Toronto artists, but even Sunreal out in the West, you know, like, he's touring the States right now. So it's like, anyway, and that's obviously gonna generate more income, because all of these people are like, oh, we can tour there and people pay $40 a ticket. You know what I mean? It's like it's money to them, and that's how the States is. Like the States is such a money-driven mentality that if you go there and present a story where they feel that they could make money mutually, then boom, business, right? I guess that's business. That's a music business, and being able to be face-to-face allows that opportunity, and being from Saskatchewan allows the pioneership in that opportunity, because it's almost an unmarked territory, and it's huge. The prairies is huge, right? Yeah, so that's why that's awesome.
It's interesting. I'm glad you mentioned Drake too, because I think when he first blew up, he caught flack for no good reason. But a lot of people up here, you know, I think maybe were kind of upset at themselves for sleeping on him, because he came up in the U.S. and I think it was like, who's this guy, you know, selling out down there? But what he's done to, I mean, we the North, even just with the Raptors there, he is not shied away from telling people where he's from and promoting the country, which is awesome. It's cool to see more eyes looking up here at the hip hop coming out. So yeah, with that, introduce the collective first of all.
CJE is the collective. I myself am Pimpton. I rock with a homie, Malfunction. He actually is from Regina, but he moved out to Toronto. So if you see him in the streets, holla at Malfunction, CJE. Rock with the homie Ursa Major, also a Saskatchewan resident from Moose Jaw, a smaller city, but obviously, look, hip-hop is thriving there because he's part of the crew, CJE. And then I got a homie Blacktop, also a CJE member. He's from Regina, local, went to high school, grew up with this kid, like homies. My manager, Awit Mahari, that's homie in the back, you know, CJE. We got a clique of youngins coming up. I can't try to name them all right now, but what I just named are definitely the overarching, the foundation of our crew for sure.
So there you go. With that, I'm curious about, we were talking about at least, and I didn't mean to sound ignorant, but it's, you know, from outside of Saskatchewan, there's probably not a lot of eyes looking in yet. And so I'm wondering, what's the scene like on the ground there as of right now?
It's definitely growing, like, because of, like, not necessarily, like, there have been artists that have come out of Saskatchewan. Factor is a major producer who produces out of Saskatchewan and has, like, his name is renowned all over the world, right? There's artists from where I'm from, Saskatchewan, Def 3, he's from the same city as me. Like, he's also a pioneer in this because he was one of the first hip-hop artists to start doing anything and getting recognition within Saskatchewan. As far as what getting eyes to look in, it's like, it's speeding up. And I won't put it on my shoulders and say it's like people like me, but it's definitely people like-minded, you know, like with the same intentions as me. So like the movements that we're making and traveling and making these new connections, and people within our communities now, they're like, it's like our friends, you know, the kids we grew up with are like, oh my God, you're on Much Music. Like, you know, it's like, I could do anything. Like, that's really what it is, you know, like that's the mentality. So now the hip hop movement is just like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculously growing right now because everybody is seeing people that they grew up with making big moves, right? What they consider big moves may not be considered out here big moves, but I mean, to any level of artist, getting on Much Music that's one of the plateaus you have to hit in Canada, and that's just what it is. So when they see, it's like, oh, you're 23, you got on there, like you did it in 5 months, you had the turnaround, you said you were gonna do it, you know what I mean? And you did it, you followed through. I could probably do that too. And well, that's what we want them to think anyways, you know what I mean? It's like, go fucking get it. Oops, sorry.
You're good.
Go get it so that, you know, we can do it together and we can have a bigger thing so that when I bring something home, you bring something home, and now more people want to look at us, you know what I mean? It's like, that's exactly where it goes. And any actions we take from here on out is gonna continue to draw that attraction, right? So, yep.
Pimpton, what's the site? Where can people check out some songs?
Definitely SoundCloud. The Pimpton. I have YouTube. All my videos are uploaded to YouTube. We're working on a new video. Check it out. It's called, I'll mention my new single first. My new single is All Men Are Mortal. Check that out. It was produced by KE on the track, a producer, like a major producer actually. Same man who produced Jay-Z and Rick Ross's The Devil Is a Lie. Oh, okay. Yeah, so a major producer in the game. But anyways, my new single is produced by him. It's called All Men Are Mortal. Like, the lyrics are hot. We're shooting a new video right away with a homie named Aurelien. The concept, like the treatment I already saw for this is ridiculous. You know, it's gonna turn a lot of heads. It's gonna shake a lot of feathers. You know, it's gonna make some love. You know, it's all good. It's all of the above. It's mint. And then beyond that, that's my single, All Men Are Mortal. After that, we're gonna release a single. It might be prior to that actually, but the second single is called All the Sexy Girls. We just shot a sick video for that, and it's that's just for the ladies. You know, so. And the guys, I guess, but you know, it's all good. That video will be hot as hell. Check that out. It'll be on Much Music soon. And yeah, what was the original question?
Website where people can go check stuff out.
Yeah, all of them. Any kind of social media. Facebook, Twitter, blah, 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 blah. You know, I'm posting on everything. Pimpton, holla at me.
We met Pimpton at CMW 2014, but even just in the day, doing some research and whatnot, the music, I'm looking forward to hearing more, but honestly, dude, after talking, he gets it. It's nice. So I hope we hear more from you on that front too. We'll keep in touch for sure. Yeah, Pimpton, CJE, Regina, Saskatchewan, CMW 2014. Thanks, man.